and welcome to For One Reason or Another, a podcast where four friends talk about all the latest happenings in video games and nerd culture.
I can't take this seriously.
My name is Bryan Moore, and with me is Mitchell Toolin.
I hate this place already. First episode, we're already jumping the shark. How is this possible?
Randy Kinnikin.
Howdy.
And Aaron Helfer.
You're damn right.
How you guys doing?
After that,
I just woke up.
I don't know what to feel.
This is the first episode of our new podcast. For one reason or another.
I wish that it wasn't.
Yeah, this is the thing, I guess.
Okay, we're going to lay this groundwork now. You keep saying for some reason. I was always under the impression it was for one, but you keep saying that and you started off with it, so I guess fuck it.
For some
So
reason
anyway,
or
COD.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Should we re-record with
No,
for one reason?
No,
It's too
let's
late.
not. We can't even cut this part out. It's got to.
I think we should just start all over.
No. Sounds great.
All right.
What do we want to talk about first?
Well, let's introduce ourselves a little bit.
Okay.
Like example, your favorite game of all time. That's something everybody probably doesn't want to hear, but we're gonna let them hear anyway.
Aaron, what is your favorite game of all time and why?
Favorite game of all time would be Kingdom Hearts, just purely because of the mix between Final Fantasy and Disney characters, which is something I hated growing up and something that I loved growing up. Of course, I loved Final Fantasy and hated Disney growing up.
See,
That was a lie. It was the total opposite of that. Disney kicked ass. And now I think Final Fantasy kicks ass.
Nah, I just think Kingdom Hearts is weird fan fiction.
It is. But
I mean,
it's
I've had
beautiful.
sexual fantasies about it, not gonna lie.
Donald Duck looks pretty sexy in that Halloween Town outfit.
God.
You ain't lying though.
I ain't lying.
You when he ain't lying, he ain't lying. COD though.
Mitch, what's yours?
I gotta say, Fallout New Vegas. Honestly, I started the series of Fallout 3 and everyone else did. And when people complained, Fallout 3 is so different, I said, I don't know what the big deal is. And then I played New Vegas. And the world around it, I'm just like, okay, I see why everyone says this is a different thing. It's expansive and storytelling, and usually storytelling isn't the thing that you look for in a video game, but fuck it.
Very nice.
Rambly.
Fallout New Vegas is pretty good. That I can admit to. I spent countless hours modding that game.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't modded it, but I mean, I've made every good, bad, or neutral decision you can in that game and explored every corner of the Mojave Wasteland.
Aren't you the one that's
to the point where I get to a certain point and the game decides to freeze? Literally, there's this area that I'm like, I walk around and go, hope I don't freeze today.
Aren't you the one who says 3's better?
Not 3's better. I just prefer to play it.
I'll fight you.
Them fight
Why are
nerds.
we on the side of the table?
Who else really
We
likes
don't laugh
COD?
uncontrollably.
Aaron, shut up. Mitch.
Well, fine then.
I already asked you.
Randy.
What's your favorite game?
I guess I'd have to go with Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber.
I've never even heard of that, so.
By,
That was too many words for my
By
small
good
brain.
old Atlas. It's I don't know. I mean, Ogre Battle was like a real-time strategy game back in the day, and I don't know. It just had one of the most in-depth character creation and like alignment systems I ever really messed with in my youth, and it was kind of my introduction to like the hardcore RPG genre, especially with like there's so many different endings, and it's like really hard to get the good one, and I've continually got the bad one. I've actually never gotten the best ending, and I've beaten that game more times than years I've been alive.
Oh, is it like Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yes.
Or one of those?
It's
Isometric
stupid.
and all that?
Yeah.
I could not get into those games.
I
Because
mean, it's you have a party. It's like you it's like a military thing, and you have units. Each unit has a leader with 4 supporting characters, and they fight in real-time battles where they take turns and attack. We can't turn the microphone.
It's just
I noticed.
it's impossible.
Yeah,
you might as well turn up ours or something. I don't.
Yeah, just turn up ours because they're talking into the side of it. Yeah, it's an awesome game, and you should check it out.
That leaves me, doesn't it?
Shut up.
Oh wait, so Brian, what's your favorite game and why?
Best for last.
It's a tie.
Not.
I have a tie because I couldn't just.
Who'd have
pick
guessed
one.
Brian would have a fucking
I
tie?
couldn't just pick one.
He might have just voted a 7 on that. That's kind of a cop out, isn't it?
Jokes.
Okay, then you guys can pick it between these two: Final
Right.
Fantasy VII and Skyrim.
Brian would be the one that makes
You're
us
the
pick his
most
favorite game.
casual.
Also, he just
I
said
am.
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
7
VII
and
or
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Well, I'm not gonna let you say either of those options.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I feel like you can do better than that.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Well, you see,
I would accept a solid Age of Empires.
Final Fantasy VII is a story for me.
Roller
because,
Coaster
I mean,
Tycoon.
For
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Please.
What about Zoo Tycoon?
all those customizing
Mr.
things?
Bones Wild Ride.
Ah,
Doot-doot.
that's spooky.
It doesn't end.
But Final Fantasy VII is
You guys gonna?
there's no
You
talking
guys
here,
gonna
is
be
there?
okay with that?
This is it's a story where I mean I didn't play it on the PS1. I played it on the PS3 with good old PS1 classics.
You're
and
even more
whatnot.
casual than I thought.
And I like just one summer. I mean, anytime I was at the house, I was in the basement listening to the Foo Fighters' greatest hits and playing Final Fantasy VII.
If I didn't know any
You
better, I'd say you
are
had the
the
saddest childhood ever.
definition-
Oh,
No, he said
dude.
this last. Didn't you just say that was last year that you did that?
Well,
No,
yeah.
I said it
Yeah,
was like
no,
middle
it's
school.
Childhood.
Just one
Oh,
summer.
okay.
One
He had
summer.
PS3 and he was in his childhood. Listen to the Foo Fighters.
I don't think PlayStation
I give
3s
up.
were alive whenever you were in
No,
middle
it
school.
was because Brian's like 4.
I'm 19 years old.
He's 4.
Yeah,
no, no, no.
Xbox dropped when I was a sophomore, so he would have been like 7th grade.
Right.
That's amazing.
But yeah, played it anytime I was at my house instead of out and about riding bicycles because that was the thing to do. I was in the basement.
You know, I will go on and say I did like the depth of the story in Final Fantasy VII. It was one of those
It's a
games that I
really
never
good game.
Actually beat it, but they actually, I mean, how they took the protagonist, I mean, Cloud, and there was even a part of the story where he was like deathly sick, and
Right.
like you couldn't even play as him; you had to play as other characters. And
I
thought that
mean-
was really cool.
I admit the people on the detractors, although I am a detractor because as a child, I got stuck in the Shinra building and couldn't progress
Really?
because I can't read. So I just said, this game is the worst.
Yeah, I mean,
I never would have.
My brother-
I thought you would have made it.
My
farther
brother
than
made
that.
it to like the overworld, and I'm like, how did you get here? It's real
Speaking of-
magical.
Speaking of Final Fantasy games that involve cloud, did you guys ever play Crisis Core?
I did not.
Yes.
But I always
On
wanted
PlayStation
to.
Portable?
Crisis Core is fantastic.
Oh, I was down for
I've
that.
wanted to because it's
Zach
like
Fair's
Kingdom
my dude.
Hearts, but with a good story.
Well, my biggest thing that I hated always about the Final Fantasy games was the turnstile fighting, which just so happens that you don't have to do in that. Thank God.
Plus, Zach Fair is my dude.
I liked.
True.
I mean, considering the spoilers, considering it, Zach is kind of the cooler guy.
Yeah.
That movie or that game came out a long time ago. Spoilers are okay. If you don't know the story of Final Fantasy VII, I'm sorry.
I will go on and say,
I'm really sorry.
I will go on and say, while the game's been out for a while, it's not necessarily like spoilers aren't thrown out for that game, so it is a possibility that someone could have Final Fantasy.
Guys,
VII
Eris
spoiled.
dies.
Oh, there's always a
I
chance.
feel like
but
that's not even the biggest spoiler.
I feel like
No,
after
I was just saying the place of my favorite porn site. Eris died. Never mind.
I feel like after a game's been out for like 4,
Don't do
5 years at the absolute max, spoilers are okay. I don't care anymore.
Okay. Also,
I'm strongly against spoilers as a whole.
did you guys ever play Dirge of Cerberus?
Yes, I played a little bit.
Also,
That
well,
was
now
so
I recognize it as a flawed game. Back then, I enjoyed the living hell out of it.
Dirge of Cerberus? Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Vincent
appreciate
is
it.
also a giant badass.
Advent Children was an awesome movie too.
You're
Yes.
not wrong. Really, anything that had to do with cloud.
Weird taste.
I
in
think
him.
everyone
What all this comes down to is, despite all the hate on people picking Final Fantasy VII as the greatest game of all time, it is a contender because it's a damn good game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say greatest. I wouldn't say greatest game of all time because that's taking into gameplay, and on everything outside the story, the game is very dated. Well, for the time, I mean, definitely contender. But now, I mean, it's in the top 100, but I don't know if it would maybe break top 40.
You know what would have caused Mitch to call me even more of a casual? If I said The Last of Us.
No, if you said Temple Run.
What about COD?
Yeah. If you said COD, I'd be like, COD Boss, got it.
Okay, so
Wow.
gaming news.
Speaking of
Speaking of
Final
Final Fantasy,
Fantasy.
non-turnstile
News.
Exactly what he
News is
said.
a thing.
Speaking of
News
Final
is
Fantasy,
stuff that comes out, and that's what we're going to talk about on this podcast.
Wow, news is
Speaking
stuff
of
that comes out.
overlapping things.
And we're also going to rant a lot, as already
No,
been
I'm-
shown.
It's okay, we're only 13 minutes in.
Only.
What?
Okay.
That was
Cut
the
that-
intro.
Cut that, Barry.
So,
Guy.
news.
Do we have an editing guy?
Number 1.
Ryan, cut that out.
Square
Number
Enix has announced a new Dissidia Final Fantasy game for arcades. It's a reboot of the series, so no previous storyline elements are affecting it anyway. Features 3 versus 3 combat, and a press conference will be held on April 10th for more details.
I hope
I mean,
can
it's
sound more red next
it's a
time.
fighting game. I don't think story matters in the first place. I mean, that's cool that they're just throwing everything away that they've worked hard to
never-
achieve, but
I never knew there was a story in Dissidia except that like all the warriors meet and hey, let's fight. I thought that was it.
But we did watch the trailer, and I am going to throw my money at the screen and say, give me a console port.
Yes,
now.
it did look really, really good.
Yeah. On one hand, it looked really nice, and I was really interested in it. On another hand, I couldn't really put my finger on it until I remembered. That's how your brain works.
It looked like
reminded me of a game because it's a third-person thing that, like, it's fighting games are usually 2D and they jump around. But here, it actually looked like a game that has not come out in America called Gundam versus Extreme. It's like that, where you get all the like mobile suits and Gundams and stuff from the. I'm just gonna tie into Gundam because why are you all staring at me like this?
We're listening.
I don't understand.
We're allowed to listen to you.
I said earlier, it reminds me a lot of the
Tenkaichi games.
Yeah,
yes.
the Tenkaichi
Yes.
games. And there's a new one coming out for that looks bomb.
Xenoverse?
Ass.
Xenoverse
really,
is looking
honestly,
really
though,
good.
I mean,
I thought there's something, and I'm going to steal it from my friend. Thanks, Alec. Really clever is that Xenoverse is the 15th anniversary of it, and the little thing that they use is Dragon Ball XB, because Xenoverse.
Oh, I get that. That makes that.
Pretty good, huh?
I will say my only fear for the the new Dissidia game is I found myself getting bored with it because I just played it entirely too much and I never really got into the story. And seeing as this has something totally different, it could either be really refreshing and nice to play, or it will not be at all.
Well, I love the fighting games where it's the open world and it sort of lets you like you get to run around. It feels like an actual fight. You're not stuck to a 2D plane. But the problem with games like that is you usually see sort of a takeaway from the combo system, and the fact that it is 3v3 means that there's going to be a lot of hectic action, which makes me kind of worry if it's going to be like a heavy attack, strong attack, signature move, special move, and that's it sort of game. Like you don't really have a varied attack.
Special. Yeah, it's not like having a combo thing. You're like, oh, but you're out of my range because this thing goes this way.
Yeah, it's like you do the same like there's no combo variation. It's like ha 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 ha.
And I don't really know how that plays well
the classic
to like
XX square.
Yeah, it's monotonous.
I don't know how well that plays to Evo or like competitive things. I could see it like being a competitive game, and that's really cool. But like watching it, you'd have to cut between screens of like third-person things with this guy and this guy. What I really like about 2D games is that you put it up and you're like, everybody sees what's going on.
You don't need two full screens dedicated to it.
You don't need
what's going on.
6 screens because of 3-on-3. Another Gundam thing.
I'm just glad they actually showed a game this time instead of announcing a port.
Yeah, I mean overall, I'd say that
Final Fantasy VII.
I'm positively excited for it.
I'm just so upset about that still.
What? I mean, yeah, you know what? The thing that I find interesting about that trailer is that they use the Final Fantasy VII Cloud. Like, they don't use the Advent Children one or the old thing. They go like the what's it called? The pauldron is like blue.
Oh, yeah. I get what you mean.
Really old school, and I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Usually,
maybe it's a nod for what they're gonna do eventually.
Nah.
No, they already trolled us. It's not happening.
Yeah,
ever.
Square Enix is awful.
It's never happening.
Don't ever say
Next
that again,
question.
Mitch.
Number 2. Twitch Plays Pokemon officially started 1 year ago. To celebrate the anniversary, the Twitch channel has started a new playthrough of Pokemon Red, the game they first started with. It's essentially the same as before, except the goal isn't to beat the Pokemon League, it's to complete the Pokédex.
Oh god.
Oh okay. Wow. That's a different thing.
That'll never end.
See, okay, first off again, well read, by the way.
Well,
like
I mean, that's how I want these to be.
You read it.
That's how I want these to be.
I wish you didn't.
So, okay. How many Pokemon was in the...
151.
Can we do the Pokemon
map?
There's like 700. There's like 776 now, isn't there?
What'd you say?
776.
I don't know.
Not.
It's like 8,000.
Can we just talk about the trash can monster for a second?
I love the trash can monster.
Well, we're at it. How about we talk about the giant Pokeball made of speed, or the magnet monster, or how about the one just made of like hot tar, primer, whatever the fuck Magmar is.
Well, I mean, if we're all being honest,
Pokemon have always looked stupid. Let's acknowledge it. All right.
No, you don't understand. The nostalgia trumps everything.
Hey, let's play as a crab with mushrooms growing out of its back. That's a cool design, isn't it?
You know what? It actually is an interesting design because like the thing evolves, like the mushroom ends up being the host because it's a pair.
All right, well then, how about we talk about Venonat and Caterpie and Venomoth and Butterfree and how fucking absurd it is that they switched around this price.
But what about Cloyster, the clit oyster?
Cloyster.
I like that. That's my main.
The only Pokemon that is in SFW next to Jynx.
If I remember correctly,
It was censored in Japan games. Yes, that is correct.
No way. I was about to. Oh god, that would have killed me.
If I remember correctly, there is a team in, I want to say, like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where it's like a couple, and they send out the dual thing. The girl uses a Cloyster, and the guy uses an Onyx.
Of course.
I actually think I think I battled that.
That's
You're
what I
just
would
like,
expect from the remakes
okay.
of the best Pokemon games.
All right.
So that's exactly what I would expect.
This isn't what it looks like. But yeah, that's exciting. I wonder how long it'll take before it just
Oh,
evolves
God.
into another
How long-
cult.
Wait, are they ever going to get past the ledge again? We're going to be stuck at the ledge too?
Do we know how long the first Pokemon Red playthrough took? Just to beat the Pokemon League?
It was a couple hours. I mean, it was a couple days, wasn't it?
Yeah, at the
If
very
it was
least.
a couple hours, that'd be the most incredible thing.
At the very least, it was a couple days.
Well, I remember being, which granted I was a little kid at the time, but I played Pokemon Red, and I remember just thinking I'm never going to ever get anywhere with this game.
That's because you sucked.
I will, because I was a little kid. I mean, I suck
Yeah.
now too. COD.
You know how you always call me a baby? I played Pokemon Red at the age of 3.
I don't think
Well.
I've ever called you a baby.
You're a baby.
You are a child.
He calls you a child.
I think it's even worse that he just called you a
By
child.
the way, it took 16 days and 9 hours and 55 minutes. And
I'm
apparently
calling-
4 seconds. Those 4 seconds counted.
I'm calling.
Pokemon X did not take any time at all for them to complete.
Apparently, yeah.
That's because they're experts now.
Or maybe,
Well, no, Omega Ruby still took 8
I
days.
was about to say, maybe it's just not a great game. I remember Pokemon X. I didn't think it was a very good game.
Oh well. I'm betting at least a month. It's gonna take at least a month.
No, because, like,
Well-
there's something to be said about just mashing your buttons. You mash your head against a brick wall. Eventually, it might, your face is going to be all bloody, but you might cause a dent. To do something that's a little more finesse, like put a Pokemon to low health and then capture it, and do that ad infinitum.
Wait, so I don't know if you're trying to say that it's going to take more than a month?
It's a lot. It's a lot to ask for. What if they just throw all the
Okay,
Pokeballs
what about
at a
those
Caterpie
Pokemon
they already
that are-
caught, and then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, wait. Oh, now we don't have any Pokeballs.
That means people are gonna have to coherently come together to buy Pokeballs, buy potions, go to one specific area to find that one Pokemon that's only in that one patch of grass.
Yeah.
How are that? They are never gonna get Mewtwo.
I'm not going to lie. I never found Pikachu even.
Well, I mean...
All right,
so
that's
maybe
because
it's-
Pikachu is like
maybe-
only found in Viridian Forest, and it has such a high.
I think there
such
was
a
like
high-
one.
I bet
Yeah,
it's...
in the
Pikachu
whole
was hard to
game.
find.
Actually, before I
Oh.
deleted my blue, first Pokemon I found in Viridian Forest was a Pikachu. Caught it in
Oh,
Higurashi, which means Thunderstorm.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Next
most
topic. I'm
disgusting
done
movie.
listening to Pikachu brag
Yeah.
stories. Number 3.
They were legit brag stories
Oh.
too.
Number 3.
Number 3.
We just watched the first trailer for Just Cause 3.
It was delicious. Lots of fire.
We didn't really see that much gameplay, but it did show.
There wasn't any
I would say
gameplay.
there was no gameplay.
Yeah.
No, but it did show a statue exploding and a car crashing, which, I mean, that
Also-
doesn't really seem like much, but that may be hints at the destructibility that the environments will be able to have as well as the vehicles.
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess.
That was something that was lacking in the previous games.
Can we just talk about how good that man's hair looked? Like, I say that a little bit jokingly, but in all sincerity, I feel like the way that characters looks is always horrible compared to the trailers that you see. And I was just very impressed with that
You
trailer.
mean
I will go on and
Rico
say-
Rodriguez? Not to be confused with apparently that guy from Modern Family. Thanks, Google. Yeah, he was kind of...
The main character's
just-
hair, it was flowing in the wind.
It certainly was.
But
With
hair,
that wingsuit.
Hair is a texture that video games will never master. And
That and
hair will
wetness.
look like shit when that game comes out.
Yeah.
I will stake my life on
If-
it.
I
but
will
if-
be honest. Has anyone played Just Cause?
I haven't.
I played 2 a little bit.
I've played some of 2.
Has anyone
My
actually
friend,
played the story?
My friend Matt raves about Just Cause, talks about how awesome it is. I could never really get into it.
Back in the days when I was an achievement whore, I played Just Cause.
Yesterday.
I'm still a
because-
trophy whore.
Wow, man, not surprised.
What's your gamer score?
I play with trophies, not
What's
gamer
your
score.
Oh, yeah,
PlayStation level?
I have no idea.
Well then, suck it.
I still have the highest gamer score out of all my friends. It's like 40, almost 50K.
Oh well,
But
you were not friends then because I got like 60,000.
Are you looking up?
Nonetheless,
Absolutely.
the thing is, I spent maybe
He's looking this up right now so
20
that he
something
can rub it in your
hours
face.
on
his
Just
trophies.
Cause 2. I went around every
147
settlement
games.
and every whatever it's
You
called.
have a
like, base and
26.5%
stuff,
completion.
and destroyed tried to destroy everything.
I'm trophy level 14.
Wow, I think I'm 6.
1,743 trophies.
What a
means
douche.
nothing to me.
I'm so glad for you and your giant EP-ness.
3 platinums. One of them being Skyrim. That took a while.
Waving it in front of everybody.
No wonder it was one of your favorite
Waggle it in your
games.
stick.
I mean, I
Because
played
you
the shit
wasted
out of it.
too
Because you
much
didn't
time
play
on-
anything else.
But the story is the dumbest and greatest thing that I think I've ever had because it just has fun with it. It just does whatever.
Exactly. It's a good
Are
game.
we still
But
talking
everyone
about Just
is-
Cause?
That's
Yeah.
what I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, Just Cause. Just Cause 2, its storyline is so dumb, and yet no one has... And I think that's the point. The developers said, we've got like this huge world, and we've got all these collectibles and shit, and everything blows off. But what about the story? And so
They
made
made
they
that
really
exact
don't care,
sound.
and it shows. Yet it's like a fun. And honestly, if you haven't just checked it out, one of the last missions involves you hook-shotting between missiles that are
Oh
nuclear
my
missiles
God.
that are flying in the air, and you go between them and disable them.
When did this game come out?
2000 something, late.
It
2000s?
was like 2000,
Has it been at least
12?
4 years? Because you just spoiled the final mission.
2012 or 13.
Not the final mission. 2010.
Oh, 2010? Really? That long ago?
I'm surprised. Yeah, considering
I'm
the
still just getting used to
multiplayer,
the fact that it's
the Just Cause 2
2015.
multiplayer thing. That's the thing I need them to announce officially. Did you guys ever check that out when it came? I
I
mean,
did
now
not.
it's an open thing, but Just Cause 2 multiplayer,
Um,
so much fun
I
and
was just saying,
stupid.
when I bought Just Cause 2 on Steam, that automatically showed up in my Steam library, and I was like, "Huh, this could be interesting."
Well, yeah, I haven't tried it since they've actually opened it, but they used to do weekends where you would test stuff, and that's exactly what the game needed, because you play around and you're just like, let's blow things up, this is great, but then you're like, man, I wish there was someone. And then everyone always says, what do you want to do to a game? Let's add co-op to it. I'm not one of those people. Like when someone says, oh, the new Fallout might happen, I hope there's co-op. I think that's just a bad idea to me. Nothing like being alone, stranded in the wasteland, and you're like, man, this is awful, isn't it? And your friend is teabagging a corpse, like, yeah, what's up? Right? I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you more leaning towards co-op or multiplayer? Because there is a difference.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Co-op
But
is
I think Just Cause 2 was a game that I said needed multiplayer focus.
Different games benefit from different things.
Yeah.
Fallout is something I want to play by myself. But example heaven forbid I bring up this game, but Assassin's Creed Unity's co-op
Shut up.
Oh,
is supposed to
boy.
be pretty fun. Doing the stuff with friends is supposed to be fun.
Honestly,
Nothing's more fun than doing stuff
I have
with
a
friends.
friend
Nothing's more
that
fun than No Faces.
has been very dedicated to Assassin's Creed. Like, it was like his favorite game franchise until Unity, and he said that the controls and co-op and everything about that game was so hard to play that it made him it took the franchise out of his favorite franchise.
Another
I have
example.
a friend like that who's more of an apologist. He's also a fan of Sonic, so
Sonic.
that explains
Gotta go
a lot,
fast.
maybe.
Gotta go
There's
fast.
a lot of room for
You know,
forgiveness.
Speaking of Sonic, I read a report recently about what video game franchises should die.
Sonic.
Sonic was number 1.
Thank God.
Really?
Because, we've seen resurgences from some past ones. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. But Sonic is one that, instead of dying off for a little bit and then coming back in this big wave of glory, instead, they just keep putting out bad game after bad game. And, oh, hey, look! It's another bad game. Why not just...
That's why I'm thankful for things like COD.
They need to just stop and come back in 5
Thank
to 10
God
years.
we have Call of Duty here
They
to
do.
just suffer us through. Honestly, although I haven't played Advanced Warfighter or whatever it's called.
Warfare.
Advanced Warfare, but I forgive you.
I think...
Advanced Warman Machine Gun
Advanced
Go Shooty.
Warfighter.
I
What is
rented that at a Redbox, got it for free, hated it.
The end of that story.
That's the end of it.
What a nice thing. Was Kevin Spacey's face
Hey.
pretty good?
Hey,
Yeah.
fun fact.
All right.
Advanced Warfare's COD. But you said Advanced Warfighter. It's Ghost Recon.
Whatever.
That is a game.
Tom Clancy.
That is a game from 9 years ago.
Rainbow Six.
Have you guys played Advanced Warfare at all?
No,
Yeah,
I
I
have
did.
not.
Played it
That
a little.
game
I gave
would
up on
be
COD with Black Ops 2.
Advanced Warfare would be amazing if
it
they didn't.
Wasn't? Like
Well,
it
like-
wasn't a Call of Duty game?
Well, no, if they didn't try and tackle the adding the extra dimension with the jumps. If they had just kept it like boots on the ground. I mean, because they had it to where I mean, you know how COD is. You whenever you advance in a level, you get your guns.
It's basically a Twitch shooter.
Like I just like that you can get like rare, ultra rare, legendary versions of the guns that
Right.
have different stats and stuff
Right,
like that,
yeah,
and they
right.
look different. That's an added level of depth I never really thought that COD could use.
Is this a MOBA?
It makes the
How
game a
did
lot
we
better.
get to COD,
I mean,
though?
COD's already.
It's all
kind
your
of a
fault.
MOBA.
You yell it.
My thing is though is that I was just joking about
But
it.
Advanced Warfare, like the whole jumping mechanic, completely tears away anything that would make that game.
I was
like,
excited
a serious
for it
game.
though,
Right.
but it definitely just made it more difficult.
Well, I
found.
mean, COD's always fought off Battlefield, and then Destiny came along, and they thought they had to fight them both. I think they should have just stuck it out with Battlefield and tried to be their own thing. What they did, I think it would have been better that way. But whatever.
I can understand those feelings.
I'm a sucker for mech suits
You know-
and junk like that. So
Mitch mentioned Fallout earlier. Number 4. Bethesda is hosting their first ever E3 press conference on June 14th, joining the likes of EA and Ubisoft.
I hope that guy
All I'm
from
gonna
last
say
year's
is
Dragon
Boston,
Age,
Massachusetts.
I hope that guy from last year's Dragon Age Inquisition comes out and goes all the fields.
All I'm
all
going
I
to
was
say
gonna
is
say was EA Sports. It's in the game, but I decided I wouldn't. But
It's
now I
in the
realize
game.
I still did.
Good job, you told us before
So-
you did it. Then it was funny.
press conference. Fallout 4. I think it's an absolute have.
If not, then
There's no-
we're burning down Bethesda.
Right.
That's pretty much an agreed
Dishonored
thing.
2. I think that's going to happen.
Make you butter.
Doom.
Wait, what did you just say you think is gonna happen?
Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2.
Oh, Dishonored 2.
Doom. Doom 4, but they're calling it Doom. And that's all I've got, personally. I mean, I can't see another one that could happen is Machine Games announcing a new Wolfenstein, but I don't see that happening so quick after
I don't
New
know
Order.
because
I was still kind of really disappointed with the last Wolfenstein.
I disagree. I
would
really
say
enjoyed it.
everyone that I've heard
Yeah.
really likes it except for Randy.
Everyone
really
has
enjoyed
given
it.
it rave reviews, and I don't understand.
I kind of
thought it was really good.
That game
The
existed.
story pulled me in. I was attached to the characters way more than I thought it was going to be. And then it played on its campiness really well. Like this guy's been in a coma for how many years was it?
It was like 20 years. You magically get hit with a thing of shrapnel. You're in a
magically.
coma for 20
Magic
years,
shrapnel, got it.
and then
yeah.
Nazis invade the hospital you're at. They kill everyone. You suddenly snap to you're not withered at all, even though you literally haven't moved in 20 years.
the dude's
kill
still
everything,
a freaking tank.
And then proceed on an on-the-rails shooter
Wait,
with very minimal, not creative weapons for the next 10 hours.
Is this The Walking Dead season 1? That's exactly.
No,
what
it's an
that
awful
sounded
game
like.
that everyone loves, and I don't understand why.
Listen, I think things like him waking up and still being 1% body fat.
I was like a giant
And,
hunk
like,
of meat.
that's just one of the ways
when you
it
sleep,
plays
you don't
on
gain
itself.
fat.
I just don't think campiness makes a good game.
Neither do I, but I think this game did it well. Like, how many times does he mention, I'm ready to kill some Nazis? How many times?
I don't think that makes it.
That
That
also
should make
doesn't
something a
qual-
good game.
That
That
doesn't
totally
make,
sounds like the guy.
It
That's
has,
like the
it
Duke
has
Nukem game.
campiness.
Like-
It has good campiness. It's overall, I think it's a good first-person shooter, especially if you like stealth games. If you like stealth games, this incorporates it really well.
Sounds
in
like
my
you're
personal
fanboying
opinion.
right now.
I just thought it was. It just always felt
No,
choppy.
I really
It
really enjoyed it.
Like there are games
It was
you
a
play
sleeper hit
and
for
the
me.
controls meld and everything feels right. The whole game just felt really thrown. The game just felt like it was
That's what he
thrown
looked
at
like
us.
after he got out of
kind
his.
of a beefcake.
That's what he looks like after he got
He
out
is
of his
literally a
16-year vegetative
beefcake
state.
pantyhose.
Not to mention after a 16-year vegetative state, you'd be brain dead.
You probably look like me.
Okay.
Oh,
Point is, I don't think there's going to be a new Wolfenstein game yet.
yeah.
But
Honestly, if they can give me something Fallout related, that's all I want.
There's
I
no
don't
way
want
they can.
anything else. I want 30 seconds of just yep, it's gonna happen. See you in a year.
No,
that's all I
because
want.
that's exactly what they did with Mass Effect, and it felt like such a cock tease. You know, Mass Effect last year.
literally
at
Oh
the
yeah,
end, it was
we're
like,
working
Mass
on it.
Effect 4. Really, it happens. we're not being held here against our will. Please save us.
We're working on it.
That's what-
We'll see you
But
sometime.
I don't know.
I would rather have, but if it's a choice between them telling me nothing and them telling me something, I would much rather have something.
Yeah, it's just that Fallout 4 has happened so many times. I mean, there was the guy who did Three Dog was like, "Hey, I'm doing more things for Fallout," and then, do you want to?
She walked away.
Mitch, keep going on about
We
Fallout.
just ran a woman off.
That's what I do. That's my professional skill is to run women out of the place. Hi, I'm just gonna get a little close. Hi, how you doing, ladies? Please.
Mitch, you are now both Mitch and Randy.
Anyways, so the Three Dog thing happened. Then I believed it was leaked that there was like the opening narration that was a Massachusetts thing that wasn't involved with that at all.
And that was after they took pictures in Massachusetts, like in Boston.
And it's like, man, something could happen, and they just were like, I don't want to talk about it. Until finally, there's this like side up called the Survivor 2299, and we're like, this could be it.
Oh, right.
This is the thing. And it turns out it was a hoax.
Yeah, it was fan made, right?
Yeah, it was made by a fan who wanted to drum up hype.
Yeah. Just after everything that's happened, and I mean,
welcome back.
Skyrim came out in 2011. The last Bethesda Fallout made game before that was Fallout 3. When did that come out? Was that 06?
So
Something like that?
It was like 07, 08, because it was when I worked at Little Caesars.
Even then,
2008.
Excellent story.
it has been that long since
was a
Bethesda's made a Fallout game.
Yeah.
It's got to be now.
It's
it's been 4 years since their last game.
I went through just the start of this year. I went through Fallout 3 again. I don't know if I want a Bethesda. Fallout game.
But you have to take into consideration that, I mean, yes, New Vegas, the controls, New Vegas was better than Fallout 3 in a lot of ways. I can't talk right now. But, I mean, that's, you say that you don't necessarily know if you want another Fallout 3. You wouldn't be getting another Fallout 3. You'd be getting a Fallout game that has gone through the trial and error of New Vegas and Fallout 3. You think
And
they're not
Skyrim.
going to look at that and say what they can do? to
Oh
make it
yeah,
better?
I want the jump from Morrowind to Skyrim to be in my Fallout game. Nothing like here's this really interesting world to go. Let's just smooth out and genericize as much as possible. You want skills and set things? Nah, I'll just give you whatever. All the classes all the races are all the same because who cares?
I don't think they're going to mess with Fallout like they have the Elder Scrolls series. Like, I think it's going to retain a lot of what makes it.
I want to be wrong. I'm holding my optimism in my throat, but I want to call it. And so if I'm right, they drop the special system.
Oh, no.
I know. That would be
Oh,
awful, wouldn't
no.
it? Don't put it past Bethesda. Words.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
Don't put it
definitely
past
don't.
Bethesda.
Why would they drop the special system?
Because I don't know. Because that's what could. Because
That
that's
would be
I
that's
feel like you're being a
way-
negative Nancy.
Yeah, I am right now.
You were being a negative Nancy.
Because
We need like a trumpet so we can be like.
that's way
"Wah,
too
wah."
You did. Remember
That too.
back when Oblivion, when they had the nice stat system, and if you
Don't look
were
those
a mage guy, then you kind of you had to say I'm gonna be a mage guy instead of Skyrim, where you're like, I like having the sword, but I want to be a mage dude now. It's like that.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about
It's very
But then on that same foot,
casual.
but then on the same foot, I enjoy being able to explore as many
Then
as
make a
many
new character.
ways as I
Why
can.
can't you? That's what I.
Yeah, just-
that's
that's
what
Well, in
what I
some
was-
cases I
I'd
did.
love to do that, and not just Oblivion, but in New Vegas and in Fallout. Like, instead of saying I want a guy that can do everything, I want one guy that can do specialized stuff.
And then, I mean, I have one. I make one guy that looks really cool. I don't want to have every guy look like that. I want to make several different guys that have looks that carried over what they're doing. Like, I want my mage guy to have arcane tattoos. I want my sneak guy to look like he's a thief. I want my warrior to be like a big burly dude.
Why you got all the
Why
brave
does-
men?
Why does the mage have tattoos?
Because
That's
they're arcane
magic,
tattoos.
yo.
They're arcane runes. that
Didn't you play
imbue him
Far
with
Cry
power.
3?
No,
Huh?
No,
Did you play Far Cry 3?
No.
I did.
Tattoos equal special powers.
Oh.
Tattoos mean you can throw a knife at two guys instead of one because you got a tattoo.
No,
You got a tattoo.
the tattoo says you can throw
I
a
want
knife
a
at a guy. You
hard
can't throw
tattoo.
knives. What are you, an idiot?
Okay.
The
So-
knives. No. The tattoo says that now you can slide on your knees. The tattoo says that now you
Right.
can run and reload.
The tattoo
I
says
don't-
now you can stab a guy after falling on top of it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I heard that back in Far Cry 3, they wanted him to be kind of bad at the game. Like when you tried to reload, you would fumble, and reloading would take
Right,
longer.
because he's never killed before.
He's not a regular dude he is just a regular dude like that. But then it was unfun, and I'm like, I don't know.
I would
feel like that'd
enjoy
be-
that.
I would hate it, and then I'd go, oh yeah, it's because I'm literally. I think of that all the time I went paintballing a few times. I'm getting stuck in my court, so I'm kind of stagnating. But I used to go paintballing, and that was the thing when I would play games. I'd go, you just reload like a robot, literally. Like I'm out of bullets, clip out, clip. Oh no, I said clip. I'm gonna get reamed like, hey, magazine out, magazine in, unless I was using an M1 Garand, and that's just it. And it's like even some games where they don't have the thing, you still cock it back you're
really
like,
not
recycle it because who cares?
It's not how paintballing happens, though. You don't.
But when I
that.
filled the thing, I'm like, this is a lot more
hopper.
tense. The hopper, I'm like, this is a lot more tense than I thought it would be.
And then the whole time you're getting shot.
Yeah,
I've never played paintball.
it's pretty.
I went paintballing with a bunch of little kids once, and I shot them.
I used
all
to
in the face.
airsoft, but that was it. I did that for
Paintball!
months, and I was like, nope, not doing this anymore.
I feel like paintball's a little higher than laser tag because
He
you
said-
get stuck with
he
the
said
same
airsoft.
kids.
Airsoft.
Yeah, airsoft is.
I
a little
definitely went
higher
laser
than-
tagging once. Though.
Laser tagging with little kids is just dumb because you just sit there like.
I kicked a kid in the sternum.
That's the only way you can play laser tag.
Well, little did I know, I kept.
Hold on,
if
you
play
injured
laser
a child?
tag-
Well, hold on,
If you
listen.
play laser
okay.
tag and you don't intentionally harm children, you're not doing it right.
Here's the thing.
Excuse
So-
me, did you just
That's
selfie
very
in your?
true.
So I'm.
You're taking pictures in the
we
middle
are
of our
playing
thing.
laser tag,
Okay.
and I'm walking around, and this child is following me, but I don't realize it. And the thing that's on your chest keeps going off, and I finally turn around, and he's like sitting there laughing, and so of course I kicked him in the sternum. I was a minor
know
at
I
the
think
time.
you're in your right. Yeah.
I
I
don't
was
know what
definitely
to
in
say
the
to
right.
that.
That kid was.
Define minor, like 15.
I was 17. The kid might have been 8.
Well, he's
Allow
eight
me
now
to
'cause
allow me to
he's
just say
dead.
I'm already not a very tall man, and I was able to just barely hoist my leg up into the air and kick this child.
Are you proud of that?
Well, he didn't shoot me again, so
Okay.
in that aspect, yes, because I won.
Moving
All right.
on.
No, I want to stay on injury.
Okay. Number 5. Making Star Wars has leaked information on a new Star Wars Battlefront game made by Battlefield developer DICE. Features include playing as many different factions like the Republic, Rebellion, Separatists, or the Empire. Battles will include a few from the Clone Wars era, with the majority being in the time span of the original trilogy. Will also feature segments before and during The Force Awakens, the new movie. 64 players total, 32 on each side. Includes a hero system like Battlefront 2, and they have a very heavy DLC plan.
Finally.
Very heavy DLC plan.
Well, what'd you expect from EA?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Did
Well, to be
you-
honest,
It's
with
like
you.
my.
This is going to be like...
I was half
That
paying
was
attention. Did you
all
say?
I played through middle school,
Did
pretty
you
much.
say anything about like AI or if there were going to be larger battles like that?
He said 64.
64 players.
But that's like human players.
Holy wow, that is
Right,
a lot
they
of
haven't
players.
said anything about bots.
That's the thing.
They-
I'm really
Space
worried
battles
about.
are in. And apparently
Are
there's
they
going to be
still-
like
Okay.
transition land to space battles
they-
as well.
Oh, that's good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Did you guys ever see the like old prototype Battlefront 3 stuff that they had a long time
Yes,
ago?
yes.
You
Yeah.
showed it to
Years
me, I
ago.
think.
I really enjoyed that, and I wish that they went with that because it had like it had its own original storyline that was like kind of expanded universe thing, and I thought that was really interesting. The cutscenes were kind of gimmicky. They looked like CQC. Solid Snake is a Jedi. I can dig that, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of like the guy was on a planet and went up and then went into space, and it was like that's really cool.
And now instead you're getting Battlefront Battlefield
I
Edition.
really want to see some like
Is
gameplay
it third
because
person or is it?
I think it's probably going to have both, like Battlefront 2 did.
Battlefront
the-
2 did
for the
have
Because
that,
from
didn't
what
it?
I understand
the
from
first
reading
one
on
also did have it.
from reading on forums is Most people are used to the third person because, but console players specifically are used to third person. But apparently, everybody who played on PC was first person the whole time.
It was first person, definitely on the
Why
PC,
though? First person was awful.
I don't know.
Right,
But
well,
that's how they
The
played.
models itself just looked gimmicky.
That's just
and
how they
dumb.
played.
I mean, now the game. I mean, if they gave a third person and first person mode, I mean, it would be amazing. It wouldn't just feel tacked on. It would feel
Right.
real, and they would breathe life into
Right.
it. They
I
wouldn't.
agree.
They wouldn't do something like this and jump it out.
I agree.
Battlefield
hope not.
3 is a game that if they came out and it sucked, people would know, people would tell them, and people would drive them under a rock.
Yeah.
They would burn the company to the ground.
I
People
should
have been
say-
clamoring for this for years.
I'm just
Oh, yeah, for sure.
afraid because
I have.
Right.
I just want to hear about the AI because that was basically my thing. I didn't have internet. I think actually on our PS2 because I played the PS2 version of Battlefront.
Me too.
'cause
So did
I'm
I.
so cool.
So did I.
There was one copy in our Walmart and we were searching for it.
I mean, that's what I played it on too as a kid.
But
Yes,
I
PS2.
did have the internet connection thing, but we never used it. All I played was either with my friends or against the AI.
Yep.
Never fought online battles, and I'm afraid that the way they're saying it sounds like it could be here's a Battlefield game with Star Wars on it.
Right. That's what
And I don't
That's what
like
I'm
that.
scared of.
It's
But
Are they still?
I'm gonna wait and see.
Do we know if they're still doing the hero system where after you get so many kills or something?
Yes.
like that, you
I
Because if
I
so-
said in my opening speech that there will be a hero
very
system.
well read.
get-
By
Sorry,
the
I
way.
wasn't listening. Not gonna lie. Okay, so in the hero system,
In the hero system.
in the hero
Can we tell
system,
him
sorry.
that we're gonna-
Okay, so seeing as now it's going to be online, and I personally, just as you guys said, whenever playing the first and the second one, I never played the online. So if there's a bunch of people online, who decides who gets the hero? Or does everybody? Is
Well, I
there
don't
just
know.
going to
It'd
be
be
an
like
ass load?
Titanfall, where it'd be a couple of people rotating, maybe have 2 heroes active for each team. Or if there is like you said 64, 32 a team.
Yeah.
There'd probably be anywhere from 3 to 5 heroes.
That's a lot of heroes.
Which is it can be fine though. I mean,
I wonder where they're going to take
Yeah,
them from.
I
What do you
wouldn't
mean?
want more than 2
Especially
heroes.
now that all the stuff isn't everything that isn't the movies is non-canon.
well,
I wonder whether-
like I said already, they've said that there's going to be a few battles from the Clone Wars era. Specifically, the big one that they're going to have is the one above Coruscant from Revenge of the Sith.
Thank God.
Nice.
Most of the game is going to take place during the original trilogy, and then there's going to be some battles.
Rogue Squadron style. I'd be okay with that.
And then there's going to be some battles that are before and during the beginning of the new movie.
Oh.
Yes,
Interesting.
including characters
Oh.
from
I
the
just
new
keep
movie.
saying ooh a lot.
When is
Oh.
speculation for do they have any
For
time?
release date,
Yeah.
probably gonna be-
speculation for release date is a month before the movie comes out, which is December this year.
Yeah, I was about to say,
which
it's gonna be
means
around
I guarantee you we get a big showing at E3. That
Definitely.
unless the movie gets moved back, because rumor has it J.J. Abrams wants to move it back to summer
I'll kill him.
next year.
That would be the smarter decision, but I don't want it.
Right, I agree. But if
Forget-
that doesn't
forget the good
happen,
ideas.
Battlefront's going to be EA's big winter push this year. It's
know
going to be hardcore shoving it in our
That
faces.
wouldn't be good because there are already so many big movies coming out in summer. That would literally bankrupt our country.
Which is true. I mean, Star Wars is what everybody's anticipating in December this year. And
Especially
if
now that there's not a
Battlefront comes
Hobbit
out
movie.
in
Thank
the
God.
big game period of the year, it's going to blow everything away.
Has there been any gameplay at all? I mean,
No.
I've seen shots and stuff.
The only footage we've seen was that thing they showed
that
at E3.
really boring teaser,
Yes.
or the
Yes.
the one with the foot, or the AT-AT, or
Yes.
the okay.
That's
You
the
just
only
gonna
thing
keep
we've
saying
seen.
yes.
I mean, that's the only thing we've seen.
You question,
But
thing?
I bet we're going to get a big showing at E3 this year.
I'll probably pee the whole
come
time.
summertime.
I
said I'll
can't
probably pee
wait.
the whole time.
No, it
I
can.
I absolutely love Star Wars,
just
and I've
replay
been waiting for
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 3 for a long time, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think
Did
it's gonna be
anyone
good.
ever play the PSP games?
Yes.
My brother
Yeah.
had one of them, but I never played it.
There was a pretty cool customization thing on there.
Because yeah, I heard really neat things about it, but I was like, it's a PSP game. There's only one stick. What do I care? That's
you based
that's
that
why
on the
I
stick.
got a PSP, and I'm like, all right, I can play Metal Gear now, and I did, and I'm like, this is awful. How can anyone live with this?
Well, see that I barely played any games on the PlayStation Portable, and just because because of the lack of depth that you could get, just because it's all right there in front of you.
No, because that's not a problem for me because I literally sit where my TV is and I play my games and I sit right there.
Well, it would
So
help
I have
also
eye
if I had
problems.
eyes.
That is an issue. Yeah.
Visibility is important.
I mean, you're the Kingdom Hearts guy. Did you play Birth by Sleep?
You're goddamn right.
On-
I did.
Does it have the like? How does it do camera control? Does it do like Kingdom Hearts style, where it's the shoulder buttons, or
Yeah.
does it just kind of say, "Screw
No.
it, we do what we want"?
Well, it kind of did both. Like you could control the camera to a certain extent, but it also just like it stayed closer in line with you. Like there was no getting lost with the camera, which I found to have happen in Kingdom Hearts 2 a couple different times. But like the camera basically stays right behind you, but you can move it. But oh god, Birth by Sleep was so good. I'm about to have a nerdgasm.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
control yourself.
Save it for the pilot.
Control yourself.
Did
Did none of you guys
We're gonna
play
move
that?
on.
No, I was again.
I haven't
I'm
yet.
not a Kingdom
I want to,
Hearts
though.
guy.
Oh god.
I played Kingdom
Oh.
Hearts 1 and 2 and really loved them, but waiting for 3, I've just been like,
You've
It's
fallen
been
off.
killing me. And I thought it was supposed to
Disenfranchised.
be coming out.
Yeah, it's
this-
literally there have literally been so many years in between that I actually stopped caring, just because I forgot. Like
yeah.
God
I bet
hates
if
you, so-
I bet if I played the HD remakes and we're like, oh, I'll have this wave
I
of
just hear,
nostalgia going.
"When
Yeah, it's
you
pretty good.
walk
Yeah, but
away, you
Oh,
won't
God.
leave me
Oh my
so
god.
So baby, please don't go. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me
Show them
feel.
titties, boy.
Tonight, it's hard
All right,
tonight.
moving on.
Go
Number 6.
home.
how can we not?
Number 6.
Okay.
Ready at Dawn have responded to concern that the Order 1886 is only 3 to 5 hours long. This originally came up when a YouTuber leaked a playthrough of him beating the game in 5 hours, including cutscenes. The founder, CEO, and creative director at Ready at Dawn stated, "I know numbers have been put out that are not actually right. It's impossible to finish the game in that time, so we know the numbers are wrong."
Literally impossible.
We've known
I
that it
believe
was a short on the rail shooter game since they said it was an on the rail
Right.
shooter
I mean,
game.
it's we've been told many times, third-person cinematic shooter.
yeah.
We knew it wasn't.
I don't
gonna be
expect
fun,
that to be
and we knew
long.
It wasn't
super
going to be long.
linear
Hey.
corridor.
I think it's going to be a good.
I think there's a difference between acceptable and fun. I think it will be acceptable.
And I think
I
you've
think-
been brainwashed.
I think
by
it'll
the setting.
demo the graphics really well, and I think that it'll sound good. It'll probably play comfortably.
But what's the hair gonna look like?
Hopefully good because you
Not-
fight werewolves.
And not just that, every character has a mustache.
Well, that's
Even
the
the
best
lady?
thing I've ever heard.
Even the lady.
Wow.
But
She's
I
She
mean,
has the biggest.
I mean,
it's not on her
even
face.
if the game is 5 hours
Stop.
long, I mean, the setting excites me. The setting is awesome. In my Victorian London with just some things changed.
Yeah, that's like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Basically.
It's awesome. I think it's going to be good, in my personal opinion. I plan on picking it up very soon.
Gonna lie, I don't have an opinion on this whatsoever. I actually intentionally pushed it out of my mind.
How is that a lie if that was honest?
when I saw
I said I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I think you said I'm going to lie.
no.
in the order, whatever the teaser trailer came out, 2 years ago, was it?
It's been a while.
What was
It
like
has been
that
a while.
thing? It came out. I was like, this looks kind of interesting, and then they go, oh, it's steampunk, and I kind of turned off like immediately. I was like, oh, neat, supernatural.
kind of is.
old thing, and then it's just like lasers, magic.
It
Whatever.
kind of is
Laser-
steampunk, except
laser
it's
magic.
in Victorian London. And the only other game
That's
I can think of right
exactly
now
what
that takes place in
steampunk
Victorian
is.
London is Bloodborne, and that's not out yet either.
Well,
I mean, Dishonored was kind of Victorian London, wasn't it?
That's
yeah.
true.
It's
I was
steampunk.
just about to ask.
Literally
when
no
was
other.
when was
literally-
Unity
literally
based?
no other game.
I didn't say there wasn't
Literally
any. I
no
said the
other
only
game.
one I can think of.
Well, it isn't a common setting. It really isn't, unfortunately.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's common enough though.
I think that the old.
Not-
school-
I think it might
I think,
start-
like,
You know what's
steampunk,
common?
Like Wings
A
of
fantasy
God.
world with dragons and goblins.
What are you talking about? I've never played a
Elder
game like
Scrolls, Lord of the Rings,
Dragon Age
Hey,
Inquisition.
Dragon Age.
Dragon's
Listen.
Dogma.
Which
Dragon's
Inquisition is
Dogma.
amazing.
Dragon's
I don't
Dogma
really care.
and Inquisition. Let's just have a moment of silence because, good God, love those games.
Is there any?
While we're at it, can we have a moment of silence for Kentaro Miura because he's probably going to die before Berserk finishes.
I really hope not.
Mics are important.
Okay. Next one. What are we on? 7? I think we're on 7. Game designer Peter Molyneux is facing a lot of heat right now.
Right now.
Well, he has been for a while.
His
But
entire life.
basically what happened was he released this game called Curiosity. You had to click this cube. The person who clicked the last part of the cube got a reward that was to be the god in his new game, Goddess, and you got a part of the sales profit. Yeah, that guy didn't ever get anything from him, ever. And Goddess is not the game Peter Molyneux said it was going to be. Shocker. And except now, like, journalism sites and whatnot are actually hammering down on him.
Good.
On one hand, yes, he is kind of I want to almost, be positive in saying he's very ambitious and overstates hyperbole and all that crap. Because especially this rock, paper, shotgun interview, the thing that kind of set a lot of this off,
right.
Holy crap, it just starts off. Like, there's like, hey,
do you think you're a pathological liar?
Are you a liar? Like, hey, how are you? Are you a jerk? You just walked into a place and just be like, hey, your stuff sucks. Why is that? You're like, thanks for having my... Why am I here again if you're just going to, like, insult me? So, yeah, it doesn't really... and it doesn't really, like... It immediately starts an aggressive tone and goes on from there. I'm not entirely surprised that Peter Molyneux said, I'm done with, like, everything involving, like, reviewing people.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with the people and the press, and that, I mean, this is the last straw. He's done it way too many times. I mean,
I haven't trusted him since Black and White.
Fable 1 can do all this. Doesn't happen.
I don't...
Oh, well, Fable 1 sucks,
have played
but
Fable
Fable
anyway.
2...
The weird thing is that
Fable 1 didn't suck.
No, Fable 1 was good.
I never heard about the hype surrounding Fable.
Yeah.
So when I played it, I was just like, this is a pretty good
if you throw this
action-adventure
acorn,
game.
it will grow into a tree.
I did not hear about that. I also apparently did not hear that you could cut off everyone's head, collect them up, and build a castle out of their skulls. If someone heard that and thought that was going to be a real thing, then, I've got a bridge.
All right, in Morrowind, you can build a pillow castle. So that game came out years before Fable. That's all I'm saying. A pillow castle.
On the other hand, though, like Molyneux has said that he's not going to talk to the press anymore for reasons such as death threats. He's gotten death threats from people. Like, probably, I'm assuming, like everybody else gets them on Twitter, which I can't agree with that.
Nothing's better than cyberbullying.
No, harassment is the easiest way to deflect criticism.
Didn't Gamergate tell you anything?
Let's not tread that water.
Yeah, that's
nothing like our first episode to go. Let's just stick our faces right in the crap. And that's speaking. No, I'm not gonna.
All right, then last topic, number 8. The trademark for The Last Guardian in the United States has been abandoned. However, Sony has confirmed yet again that the game is still in development and that this was simply an administrative error at PlayStation America. This could possibly mean a name change, or maybe they just simply forgot to reinstate the trademark.
Why do they insist on lying, Brian? Why do they keep telling us that this game is in development, that it's gonna happen? Why do they keep telling us when we know full well Last Guardian will never see the light of day, nor will it grace the controllers that fit so perfectly in our hands?
You know what I think is going to happen?
Have you been preparing that?
They just got to fix the
I
trademark.
think it's going to see the light of day. I just don't think it's going to be called The Last Guardian anymore.
I don't think it exists.
Didn't this
I don't think it
happen
ever existed.
in 2012 or something? Like
Probably.
the same thing happened where it was like, oh, the trademark ran out.
Literally, the same thing happened.
When E3 came around, IGN ran a story and they were like, "Oh, it's canceled. We heard it was canceled," and somebody from Sony was like, "Ah,
some guy,
no, it's not.
It's thing."
I think this is a giant inside joke.
Yeah,
It's not an inside joke. It's just a
to
giant
keep everyone
joke.
on the string to say, so what they're gonna say, by the way, is,
Why was the game even exciting in the first place? Because it was done by the dude that did Ico and Shadow of Colossus.
Because the studio it's made by a studio who has done 2 fantastic games. Granted, they've only done 2 games.
They have done 2 games and 1 gigantic 6-year cock tease.
Yes.
That is all they have done.
Well, hold on. Now, I defend them in a way. They did an HD re-release.
That's true.
Fuck you.
Of both those games.
That's true.
That
Shadow of the Colossus was so
Wanking it.
fucking good.
What was it? Wanderer in the Colossus?
Wander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was Wanda whenever it first came out, like X-Play
That horse.
did a review of it at first.
And then the horse
Japanese
was aggro.
Yeah.
Aggro.
There was one part in the game though where you stop talking, and you go to call your horse and he still shows up, and you don't say anything. That's the most loyal fucking horse.
That game was seriously like that.
That
That game
was so
did something
good.
right.
I will say there was hours of riding around looking for what to do,
Doing
and then
nothing.
hours of fighting the Colossus, especially if you didn't know what you were supposed to be doing.
God, now I just want to play it.
The only one that I didn't have trouble with was the very first one.
Actually, it was about a year ago, but we had a couple people and we were drinking, playing Shadow of Colossus.
That's a beautiful scenario right
It was very hard, but I'm proud to say that I'm the one that conquered the Colossus.
there. Good.
Good on you.
It
That
only
last
took
one
us
was
to,
tough
like
ass.
passing around the controller 12 times.
Well, Last Guardian, when are we going to see it?
Tomorrow.
More importantly, is that griffin thing still alive? I bet no one's fed it in a while. I bet that's the next trailer, the launch thing. It's just be like it's dead, because you knew it was gonna die anyways. Because that's how you win game Oscars.
Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
you spend the whole game feeding this griffin like it's protecting you, and then at the very end it dies for you.
Congratulations.
You have not only written one of the least interesting and original stories ever, you have now pissed me off by stringing me along for 8 years and then making me buy a game and play it only to be disappointed.
What if you just like start the game and it already ends because the thing's dead?
It's like
What if you put the game and you open the disc, you take the packaging off, you open it, and you put it in your console, and you shut it right, and then you turn it on, you go to play it, and then a hand just comes out of the screen and shoots you. That's the game.
10 out of 10.
Because that's basically the game.
I'd buy it. I definitely would.
Not
That's
only
the
buy it
feeling I
for
get
my
when I play
friends.
it.
Not only did the griffin
Bryan,
die,
I got you this lovely new game. You should play it right now.
The Last Guardian.
Play it right now. I want to make sure it
However,
works.
what this really means is the trademark is canceled, meaning the game's name could be changed. Which what I want to
Meaning, we should change the name of this podcast to The Last Guardian right now and
No,
trademark it.
We
What-
are
what I-
actually the last
Yeah.
Guardian.
what I want to know is
What,
what's going to happen to my
entertainment? I feel
Amazon
sorry for
pre-order.
What was
Mitch,
I didn't even hear what he said. I
What
just
are,
heard you
what are
go,
the two games I have pre-ordered on Amazon?
Last Guardian.
Bloodborne,
No,
Is one of them a COD game?
The Last Guardian and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mad Labs 2.
Really?
Those are the two games I have pre-ordered on
Oh
Amazon.
my god.
Like, how am I supposed to know what your Amazon thing is?
I showed it to you
I
earlier.
don't pay attention to you.
Duke Nukem Forever and The Last Guardian.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Unfortunately, Duke Nukem Forever came out.
And it was
if
bad.
if it had came out like when it was supposed to, that game would have been amazing. But it didn't, and it was
did.
awful.
Okay.
I like that you can pick up poop and throw it at things. I don't like it now that I'm 23.
That's all the news. The news is done. I'm out of news.
should we play the outro?
That's
good.
all, folks.
Now we can talk
Should
about
we
things
play
that
the
really
outro?
matter.
I actually
I was gonna
really
say,
have to poop,
does-
so this is the perfect time.
Does anybody have a topic they want to discuss?
No.
No?
I've literally had to poop this
Okay.
entire time.
Then this has
Let me
been
grab my guitar.
the first episode of for one reason or
Can we
another.
maybe,
Nope, we're doing it. Ready?
For one reason
No.
or another. This has
No.
been the first episode.
I hate this already.
There you
No,
go.
I can't do this.
sorry.
Just
Do it.
just
Just
stop.
keep doing it.
So
I can't.
thank you for listening.
Get a
Yep.
little something.
Tune in next week.
Go.
Yes, where we will
Not-
continue to discuss. Well, we'll talk a little bit about game news and mostly
I don't
ramble
even know
because
we're
that's
at
what we do.
anymore.
So thanks for listening.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Farewell.